What is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, bringing you another Pokemon Legends ZA video. Alright, so we have a 4chan text dump. A pretty substantial 4chan text dump today. So I came across this, and of course, you know, with 4chan, there's a 50-50 chance that it could be real or it could be fake. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but it seems pretty entertaining and feasible, you know what I'm saying, in a weird way, because it does have that kind of fan fiction-y, type of thing that 4chan leaks tend to have, but it's definitely interesting to talk about. And I was gonna add it into one of my other videos, but I was like, it's a pretty beefy boy. I think we need to talk about this one by itself. So of course, if you want to continue getting videos like this from me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me on twitter.com/RSMario128. Like my video tweet, share my video tweet, and I'll shout you out at this portion of the video. Like today's lucky Twitter shout out recipients, we have Dirt, you know what I'm saying, who's always cool, always super cool, he does a lot of Overwatch stuff, on Twitter. And we also have April, who might be a person or might be a porn bot. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, so they like the tweet, so they get a shout out. So it is what it is. So, you know what I'm saying, if you want to be like today's lucky shout out recipients, of course, like the video tweet or share the video tweet, and I will like you out. I will shout you out right here on the channel. So let's get on into it. So back to the text dump. So this is about Legends VA. I read a little bit of this because they didn't put like a title on it, but from what it seems like they're talking about Pokemon Legends ZA. So it says the game is split between Luminos City and Kalos Wilds. All of the story and trainer battles happen in Luminos City, but wild Pokemon are encountered in Kalos Wilds. The map has the game has 6 maps. They use visual tricks to make them look all connected, but only one map is loaded at a time. It runs smooth. One map is Luminos, and the other 5 maps are sections of the Kalos Wilds. The map file names for the wild sections are Terminus, Forest, Industry, Triplet, and Goats. But I don't know what the final name, if any, have in the game. Okay, so I'm just gonna pause it right here because that's a lot of information. So those file names sound kind of stupid. Like, what is Triplet and Goats, right? Because if these are supposed to be like maps, they're supposed to be like biomes, kind of like the different sections of Pokemon Legends Arceus, right? So what is Triplet and Goats? Like, Industry would be like an industrial area where you can catch like steel and like poison Pokemon and stuff. So of course we know Forest. Terminus sounds like it could be like a volcano-y area, you know what I'm saying? Like, but what is Triplet and Goats? The other thing is the game is like all the story missions are in Luminos City. So the starter is Baby Zygrade, but there are 3 loyal factions based around the Kalos starters. Okay. The dog Zygrade is a bike. Now that's kind of cool. If you could ride like the dog version of Zygarde, you know what I'm saying, that'd be pretty cool. Every Pokemon who Mega Evolves does a special animation after the Mega Evolution. Kind of like a quick dance or a combat pose. Okay. I mean, I guess, well, this will make all those people happy that said, oh, the animation, the Pokemon animation. So this will make all those people happy, I guess. Assuming there weren't 2 Mega Evolution references in the Paradox lineup, there were 5. Okay. There's a new 75% Zygrade form that looks like a pterodactyl, and it works like a glider. That's kind of cool. So basically having Zygrade or Zygarde be like the way like you kind of traverse the world. So he's like a dog, he's like a glider. That's interesting. You know what I'm saying? I can actually see them doing something like that, you know? I mean, in this way, you know, your Zygarde, you know what I'm saying? So this way, Zygarde isn't the threat. So I wonder what the threat is. That's kind of cool. That's not a bad idea. Most of the new Pokemon are Mega Evolutions. There are only 2 regional variants. I can kind of see that happening. There's a Poison Flying Rookie D, and there is a a Steel Ghost Delmuse. Okay. Poison Flying Rookie D. Okay, alright. So only new legendary megas are Xerneas Yveltal and another Mewtwo form. So basically a 3rd Mewtwo form. Why though? Like, only new Pokemon are Delmuse Evolution, Encore, and antagonistic legendary Agrios. So I guess that's the threat. Agrios. I guess that's the threat, you know what I'm saying, they're talking about. Since you are working with Zygarde, the threat is Agrios, whatever that happens to be. Anchor looks like a Kraken made of tangled chains and anchors, which that actually sounds kind of cool now. At first, this sounded kind of dumb, but that sounds kind of lit right now. Agrios resembles a large onion and looks more Ultra Beast than Pokemon. Not sure what the lore is, but there's several cutscenes of it growing larger and sucking the life out of the environment. Okay, so I mean, that's kind of an interesting like reference to like, you know, the expansion, like the expansion of like cities and like, you know, the whole urban redevelopment, because they're gonna expand Lumino City, and that's kind of absorb and destroy the environment. So I can see them doing making a Pokemon that's a reference to that, as the threat to that, you know. All right, there's layers to that, Jant, cuz. For some reason, Kleavor, Weirdeer, and the Johto starters are among those that receive new Mega Evolutions. If so, that's cool. If so, that's cool. So far, the only thing I don't like about this is the fact that the Agrios is kind of like an Ultra Beast, which I'm not a huge fan of the Ultra Beast. All right, it's another one of those many reasons why Generation 7 is kind of dookie butter, but you know, it is what it is. 13 Pokemon have cutscenes where they are glowing green and menacingly approaching the camera. So it's Quilladin, Braxton, Frogadier, Diggersby, Go-Goat, Malamar, Bark Barrel, Anchor, Noivern, Xerneas, Yveltal, Complete Zygarde, and Agrios. 13 Pokemon have cutscenes where Unbound Hoopa summons them to battle, and that is Deoxys, Heatran, Victini, Genesect, all the 4 Tapus, Zacian, Zamazenta, Eternatus, Calyrex, and Unbound Hoopa summoning itself. So basically, there's gonna be like a boss rush with Hoopa. See, yeah, this joint already too good to be true. We can already go ahead and stop right there. That it's too good to be true now. All right, a Hoopa boss rush, and when I mean boss rush, I mean like Legends Arceus bosses. All right, because I've been working on a script for a video of the things I want in Legends ZA, and one of them, I'm just gonna spoil it here, is the boss fights. Like the boss fights from Legends Arceus are peak boss fights, cause they're freaking crazy. All right, it's one of the craziest things I've done in Pokemon. And I kind of want those back. And if this is true, this is about to be the best game. This is about to be the best game ever, cause a Pokemon Legends Arceus style boss rush with all these legends. That's about to be crazy. Will they do it? Probably not. All right, this probably cements this whole thing as being fake. All right, so there's also a special area separate from the rest that you can access anytime called the Friend Safari, where you can encounter friends from your friend list playing the game. No way to play with strangers online, only existing friends, which, to be honest, I think that's pretty cool. I'm working on a video, 6 things I want to see in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and one of them is limited multiplayer. Like, I want this to be RPG AF, alright? So, like, old school RPG, mainly single player. I mean, you can trade, you might have, like, some single player battling with your friends, but for the most part, I want them to focus on the single player RPG aspect. So, I like this, alright, which is why this is probably too good to be true. You can battle them as well as trade Pokemon items and recipes with them as long as you're both online in the Friend Safari. Having different friends playing the game will also influence which Pokemon spawn in the Friend Safari, including many of them that aren't in the decks. The player is highly customizable. Default boy and girl both look like Clement and Bonnie. Unchosen gender is not a character in the story, so that's kind of a first, because usually the gender that you don't choose is part of the story in some way. Like, if you look at Legends Arceus and you chose the boy character, Akari is part of the story. She's the other character that works for the team and all that other kind of stuff. So that's interesting that the other unchosen gender won't be part of the story. If the player is a time traveler, there is no cutscene to indicate it like in the previous game. So that means that the player might not be a time traveler, because last time in Legends Arceus, basically it was like a time traveling isekai type of deal. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's not the case here. Maybe this is actually a person that lives in that time period, which would be kind of interesting, because, I mean, maybe this doesn't include Arceus like I thought, because my whole theory, one of my big theories was that the big threat would be, something big enough that Arceus would have to stop it. Kind of like, Zygarde, that would be an Arceus level problem if real Zygarde started to, bear down on humanity for what they were doing. Of course, with all the stuff in this leak, maybe that's a completely different case. On a related note, the opening cutscene takes place on a Rhyhorn drawn carriage. Professor Type is a shady property developer who seems to be an obvious villain, but the villain is the psychic triplet leader of the Delphox clan, who has been casting spells over people and the city as a whole. It seems more fun than the last Legends game. I'm excited. No idea what's being announced or when, but I heard the next trailer will be soon. Alright, so there's a lot of information in this, and usually when it's a whole lot of information like this, it is very 50-50. Alright, and what I mean that there's a 50% chance it could be true, and there's a 50% chance it could be false. Alright, because usually when it's a whole lot of information, it's like somebody's really good writing prompt. Somebody's kind of fan fiction. And this does seem like a fan fiction, because there's a lot of good here. There's not a lot of bad, other than the fact that there's not a lot of regional forms, which is a bad thing, but it's also a feasibly bad thing. I can see that happening anyway. So yeah, I'll be honest, if this is true, this is probably going to be one of the best Pokemon games we've had in a long time. This will definitely redeem the Legends series somewhat, Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Do you think this is real? Do you think this is fake? Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.